morning from Bingen and Rüdesheim on the Rhine River in Germany. We just left Rheinland-Pfalz in Bingen and we're heading over to Hessen and Rüdesheim. And it's going to be a great day exploring beautiful regions of Germany. We started our day in Bingen in the German state of Rheinland-Pfalz. We drove into town and followed the signs to Rüdesheim, which led us to the ferry terminal. When we traveled, a one-way trip across the Rhine River cost €5.50 for car and driver. Additional passengers in the car are €1.70 each. If you don't have a car, pedestrians are €2.50 each for a one-way ticket. After just a few minutes on the ferry, we were in Rüdesheim am Rhein. Am Rhein means on the Rhine. Upon arriving, we parked our car and headed straight for the charming old town. The Drosselgasse is the most charming and the most popular alleyway in Rüdesheim. It's lined with numerous shops, cafes, restaurants, so you won't be lacking for a nice place to take a break or to spend some money and buy some Rüdesheim souvenirs. So something unique to this town is a Rüdesheimer Coffee, and so that's a nice treat. And so you might think a coffee is a perfect pre-hike drink before you hit the trails in the forest, but this coffee has 2 shots of the locally produced Asbach brandy, so it may lead to an afternoon nap instead. But whichever option you decide for as an after-drink activity, Rüdesheimer Coffee is something that should not be missed while you're here.
Rüdesheimer Coffee. Original recipe starts every time with 1, 2, 3 cubes of sugar. Then we have the brandy, Asbach Wild. It's a brandy, cognac, that is made here in this town since 1892. That's the reason why this is called Rüdesheimer Coffee. German double shot, 4 CL is in. Really warm. The 36% alcohol doesn't burn when it is cold, so we have to heat it before. But then no problem to light it and caramelize the sugar.
Big flame.
Has to. So, the sugar is melted. Coffee. Just normal filtered coffee. The recipe for this coffee is from the end of the 50s, and this was not the time where we have the full automatic coffee machines or the Italian stuff. So we are glad that we have a good filtered coffee, and we use also today filtered coffee. A little bit whipped cream and chocolate. And then we have the Rüdesheimer coffee.
All right.
How to drink it? That's a handle.
Okay.
And then slurp the hot coffee through the cold cream. Better for your tongue, and you have a perfect taste.
All right.
So, cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome.
Rüdesheimer Coffee. All right, so now we're taking the gondola up over the Rhine River. We left Rüdesheim and we're going up to the top. We're passing over some beautiful vineyards here. And if you look up, that giant statue up there, that's called the Niederwalddenkmal or the Niederwald Memorial. And that was built to commemorate the unification of Germany into the nation that we know today. Before 1870, I think it was 1870, different empires, different little kingdoms, not they weren't so little, but you had Prussia, Bavaria, for example, Hessen, and they all combined to form the nation of Germany. And that statue, the Niederwalddenkmal Memorial, was built to commemorate that. So it's a little bit of German pride, I guess. And I think the legend says she's looking west and kind of like giving the bird to France, if you will. Now, after leaving Germania, we took a nice stroll through the forest, overlooking the Rhine River, and we ultimately ended up at a former hunting lodge that's now a restaurant and a hotel that has a nice little zoo in the back to feed. You can feed some deer back there. And then after visiting the deer, we took a chairlift down to the town of Assmannshausen. Now, the way that's written, I always crack myself up and very immature, I guess, but I always call it Ass Man's House. And this has spectacular views of the vineyards, the river, and the Castle Rheinstein on the other side of the river. All right, coming down from the top of the vineyards into the little town of Assmannshausen. Oh, it cracks me up to say the name, Assmannshausen. Yeah, so nice little town here on the Rhine, and we can either walk back to Rüdesheim, or we can get on a ferry and ride the ferry boat back. So now previously, if you remember, I said that we're in the capital of white wine production, but Assmannshausen is actually very famous for producing the best red wine in Germany. So if you come here, maybe you can try a glass of the local red wine. So we walked through the cute little town, and then we went down to the river. And right in front of the town on the riverbank, we caught the boat for a ride back to Rüdesheim. And the boat ride provided fantastic views of castles and vineyards with narration in both German and English, and it describes all the points of interest. All right, everyone. Thanks for visiting Rüdesheim with us today. Be sure to add your comments, share your thoughts and your personal experiences on tips to Rüdesheim, the Rhine River area, and travel all throughout Germany. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to our channel to join us on more travel adventures. Auf Wiedersehen!